Hey, this is Chad with BeGoneForGood. We're here at Overland Expo East. Had the first opportunity to sleep in the Vuz tent for 3 days now. We went through some rain, significant amounts of cold. Tried parking the bike in there for the first time as well, so I can get you a little feedback on exactly what worked, what didn't, and just how good of value the Vuz tent is all over. Stay tuned. It has been super muddy out here for 2 days. Thursday and Friday have been pretty rainy. Finally cleared up here on Saturday, which allowed me an opportunity to shoot a little bit. This is the Africa Twin that I was trying to park inside the Vuz tent. It got in there, but it was not an easy fit. I think a lot of it has to do with this rear plate on the back. Without this sticking up as high as it does, I think you would actually be able to fit the bike in there a lot easier. The high windscreens are going to be an issue. If you've got mirrors that are sticking out too far, that could be an issue as well, just because they're poking into all the areas that you don't need them poking on a tent. I would argue that if you had a couple of extra towels, shop towels, extra clothing, something along those lines that you could wrap around the bike, might be able to go in there a little bit easier without punching holes out through the door or any of your side panels while you're in there. Interior sleeping quarters, as you can imagine, extraordinarily roomy. Obviously very messy at this time as well. Everything did very good job of kind of holding together and providing plenty of space to move around. I stand 6'5" and can sleep end to end, as you see, with quite a bit of room left over. I could also go front to back and still have a ton of room in there. So this easily could seat 3. I would say maybe even 4 if you're really pressing it and you don't necessarily have a ton of gear that you want to bring in there. They sleep very well. I did notice a couple of leaks from these seams right here, these areas where the tent connects to the outer fly. There's a little bit of droplets of water in there. I would say at most probably 5-10 droplets of water came in off of there in some pretty heavy rains. So a little bit of seam sealer should probably take care of that issue for you. But just so you know, it's something that if you're going to be going out for a long-term trip or something along those lines, you may want to get that taken care of at home before you leave, just so it's not something you have to deal with on the road and none of your stuff gets wet. The garage, when not used for a bike, has a ton of room for everything else. I had my jacket, my pants, boots, anything else that I needed stored out here, waiting for that time that they could dry. They could get out of the rain. They could get off the ground if you had something in here to stabilize, a chair, something along those lines. So it's a really nice area to utilize for just any sort of utility needs that you have while you're traveling. All right, that's the Vuz Moto Tent review after 3 days at Overland Expo. I don't know that I can give you a whole lot more than the fact that I was pretty satisfied with it. Even in cold weather, it was warm enough inside, it sustained what I needed. I liked the fact that I had an opportunity to park the bike in there while it was super rainy, just for a place to put all the jacket and pants, boots, make the bike less covered in rain when we got out the next day. I appreciated that. It's not something that I would be parking the bike in there often. But on the times that you do, I think it works. The garage section in there is a good place to utilize a bunch of other things as well, if that's something that you need. I could even see taking the inner tent out and just using a single man in there to provide yourself a little bit more room, a little bit more maneuverability with the tent that you have as well. But I could see how this easily doesn't work for everybody, because it is a very large tent. It is a lot to take with you. And the garage doesn't necessarily provide enough use that it's a mandatory thing. So if it's something that you see value in that garage, then definitely the Vuz Moto Tent holds up to the quality that you're going to need. It's easily half the price of other competitors like the Lone Rider or the Redverz. So I would say that if you're interested in those, then definitely take a look at the Vuz Moto Tent, because it provides you the same accessibility, same capability, same durability at a far cheaper price, and you can really see if it's something that works for you at that point. Thanks a lot.